In the crushing dark, a kilometer below the waves, a cold blue light flickers. It is a star where no star should be, dangled by a predator the size of your fist. But the light is not the strangest thing about her. Look closer at her skin. That small lump is not a scar. It is her husband. He has permanently fused into her body, sharing her blood. He is not just a passenger, he has become a living, breathing part of her. This is the world of the deep-sea anglerfish, a group known as the ceratioids. They drift through the bathypelagic zone, a realm from 1 to 4 kilometers down where sunlight has never reached. The pressure is immense, the water is near freezing, and the darkness is absolute. In this vast, empty blackness, life faces two profound challenges. Finding food is nearly impossible, and finding a mate is even harder. To survive here, evolution had to get creative in ways that seem to border on science fiction. To solve the first problem, finding food, the anglerfish carries its own trap. A long, modified spine on her head, called the elysium, acts as a fishing rod. At its tip sits a fleshy bait, the esker. This rod arches over her head, dangling the esker right in front of her enormous, tooth-filled jaws. In rare footage captured by robotic submersibles, we have seen them in action. Creatures like the black seadevil hang motionless, stone still in the water, with only that lure twitching, beckoning in the dark. But here is the most wonderful part of the trap. The anglerfish does not make the light herself. The esker is a tiny living greenhouse, a specialized organ packed with bioluminescent bacteria. These microscopic partners, specific strains related to the genus Vibrio, live and reproduce inside her, housed and fed in exchange for their steady glow. The fish is not just a hunter, she is a farmer, cultivating a living lantern on her own body, a beacon in a world that has never known a sunrise. And the light they produce is not just any light, it is a specific shade of blue, peaking around 490 nanometers. This is no accident. Blue light travels farther through seawater than any other color, cutting through the darkness like a focused beam. More importantly, it is the precise color that the eyes of most deep-sea creatures are most sensitive to. In a world of black, this flickering blue signal is an irresistible whisper that says, "Food is here." The anglerfish is not a passive host. She is a master technician of her own lantern. The bacteria's light-producing reaction, driven by an enzyme called luciferase, needs a constant supply of oxygen to function, like a tiny fire that needs air to burn. The female can control the glow by controlling the flow of oxygenated blood to the esker. By restricting blood flow, she can dim the light or turn it off completely. Some can even use a small flap of skin to shade it, turning biochemistry into a dimmer switch. This partnership is so specialized that the bacteria can no longer survive on their own. Their genomes are smaller and simpler than their free-living relatives, having shed the genes for tasks the fish now provides. The fish, in turn, is not born with her light. As a juvenile, she must find and capture the correct strain of bacteria from the surrounding seawater, drawing them into the esker through a tiny pore. From there, she cultivates her personal monoculture until the lure is a steady, reliable beacon. With the lantern lit and the stage set, she just has to wait. Delicate filaments on the lure may flutter and twitch, perfectly mimicking the frantic movements of a small crustacean. A curious squid, a hopeful fish, a hungry shrimp sees the dance and drifts closer. In the deep sea, a single meal can be the difference between surviving another month or starving. The prey inches toward the light, and in a sudden explosive movement, the cavernous jaws open and the trap is sprung. The lantern solves the problem of food. But what about the second, even harder problem, finding a mate in an ocean of darkness? For this, evolution developed an even stranger solution. The male anglerfish hatches as a tiny, free-swimming creature. He is dramatically different from the female. He has no lure, a poorly developed gut, and one feature that is massively oversized, his olfactory organs. He is essentially a swimming nose, built not to eat, but for one single, desperate task: to find a female. He follows the faintest chemical trails she releases, a scent on the slow-moving currents. It could take him weeks or his entire short life, but if he succeeds, he finds her, a giant, a floating island in his world. He does not court her, he bites her. He latches onto her flank, her head, her belly, and he does not let go. Then the truly impossible begins. His tissues and her tissues start to dissolve at the point of contact. His skin fuses with hers. His circulatory system connects to hers. Capillaries intertwine, and her blood begins to flow through his body, nourishing him. He is no longer a separate individual. He is now a permanent, parasitic appendage. Over time, the fusion becomes so complete that almost nothing separates them. She provides everything he needs to live, delivered directly into his veins. It is a form of chimerism, two distinct genetic individuals merging into a single, functioning organism, a biological feat almost unheard of in vertebrates. Once connected to her life support, the male's body begins to change. He has no more need for his own navigation or hunting tools. His eyes may degenerate, his digestive tract withers away. Most of his internal organs vanish. He becomes a streamlined, living component of the female, reduced to the one thing she needs from him, his testes. He is now little more than a pair of gonads, a permanent, on-demand sperm bank fueled by her blood, ready whenever she is ready to reproduce. For almost any other animal, this fusion would be fatal. A vertebrate's body is built to identify and destroy foreign tissue. An immune system acts like a hypervigilant security force, constantly checking the molecular ID cards on every cell. The key to this system involves proteins called the major histocompatibility complex, or MHC, and the antibodies that attack invaders. A skin graft from another person is rejected. An organ transplant requires a lifetime of immunosuppressant drugs. So how does the anglerfish do it? A groundbreaking study in 2020 finally found the answer. By sequencing the genomes of several anglerfish species that use this strategy, scientists discovered something astonishing. These fish have intentionally thrown away critical parts of their own immune defenses. Key genes for the MHC system are broken or missing entirely. The machinery to make certain types of antibodies is gone. To allow a mate to fuse with her, the female anglerfish has gambled away a huge chunk of her adaptive immune system, effectively turning off her body's ability to reject him. Losing your immune system sounds like a death sentence, but it's a calculated risk that works in the deep sea. The bathypelagic zone is like a desert, vast with very little food and relatively few germs compared to the teeming surface waters. With fewer pathogens to fight, the anglerfish can afford to lower her defenses. This relaxed immunity might also be what allows her to host that dense colony of foreign bacteria in her lure without triggering an immune reaction. One strange adaptation enables another. This strategy leads to some of nature's most extreme differences between sexes. In one species, the mature male is only 6 millimeters long, smaller than a grain of rice, while the female can be 500,000 times more massive. And she is not limited to just one mate. Some females have been found carrying a whole harem of tiny, fused males. Specimens have been discovered with 6, 7, even 8 males attached across their body, each one a living testament to this bizarre and incredibly successful reproductive bargain. In a world defined by its emptiness and its endless night, evolution found these two breathtaking solutions. It built a living lantern from a bacterial partnership, and it forged biology's strangest marriage by tearing out pages from the immune system's rulebook. The anglerfish is a quiet marvel of adaptation, a creature that thrives where life should be impossible. If this is what it takes for one fish to survive in the deep, it makes you wonder what other impossible things are still down there, waiting in the dark. Thanks for joining us on Faunery.